Welcome to this scenario, and this one is called I Know Data Foo, or AI-powered data analysis. So one thing that AI is absolutely great at is making sense of large data sets and lots of information. And AI will actually let you do analysis and interpret results that you probably wouldn't be able to completely do manually yourself, simply because it's been, a decade or two since you've done statistics and probabilities in high school. And more than that, AI will help you pick up on things that you would miss with a manual analysis, and it will also let you summarize and present data in ways that you wouldn't be able to do easily yourself. So what could actually be a 10-hour manual analysis of a bunch of spreadsheets can be done in, say, 30 minutes or less using AI. And here's how we do it. So of course, we start with providing the AI with the context that we need. We feed in all the data in the right format, which could be multiple files, copy, paste, spreadsheets, so on and so forth. But then ask the AI, can you do your own analysis on this data and tell me 5 interesting things about it? And then we continue asking questions. We can go upstream or downstream with the information provided. We can ask what if scenarios. We can output the data in different and more useful formats. So let's go over to the AI, and I want to show you an example that I actually did a couple of weeks ago. All right, so I'm actually going to go to a specific Claude chat that I had with the AI a little while ago. And this one was on doing cohort analysis for a client. So I've said I need to perform a cohort analysis on a spreadsheet. And you'll notice that this is me making a mistake. I didn't actually provide the context at all. I just simply provided the spreadsheet. I will not open this because it actually has client information in it, so I don't want to expose that. And let's look at what happens. So yes, AI can help. Here's the spreadsheet. Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to group the codes by quarter. I'd like to calculate the total order value for 6 months and include, and the AI tries to do that. It's output this cohort. And this wasn't exactly what I was looking for, because my next response here, can you show me the calculation for the Q3 2023? Because I didn't think this looked quite right. Right? And yes, AI does make mistakes sometimes. And that's why I always say you need to check the output that the AI provides you. And here we go. It's redone the calculation. And okay, I see what the discrepancy is. The calculation should not include this date. So that was actually an issue with me not being specific enough in specifying the dates for the AI. And here is the corrected cohort analysis the AI has provided. And at this point, I kind of realized that what I needed was not a cohort analysis, but in fact a segment analysis. So my next prompt was to take the same information, ask the AI for a segment analysis broken down by 3-month periods. And this is what the AI produced. Segments customers in their first 2, first 3, first 4, average order value, total number of customers. Now, one thing I did realize is that the number of customers should actually be the same for all quarters, because they're valid throughout all quarters. And I asked the AI to fix that, and here we go. 252,560 customers, and the analysis for 3-month segment. Here's the corrected analysis. And I believe, nope, that was not the final version. I wanted to make it cumulative. And the number of customers for all segments should be the total. And here we go. Here is the final cumulative customers. And basically this took what was a very complicated set of order data straight out of a CRM and created a neat average order value grouped by customers for each period. And this was provided to the client, and they were very happy with this analysis. It's not something they could have done themselves. And I could have done it manually myself, but it probably would have taken, a couple of days, because it's been a while since I've done something like this. So you'll notice that throughout this conversation, I actually made a bunch of mistakes. I didn't provide the context. I wasn't specific, like I didn't even know I needed a segment analysis, a cumulative segment analysis. I started with cohort analysis, and yet in the end, even with all the mistakes and some iterative prompting, I managed to get through to the end result that I wanted with the AI. All right, let's look at a second example. And for this one, let's do something a little different. So I'm actually going to open up Reddit. I'm going to go to Ask Reddit, which is a popular subreddit. Let's pick, I want something top for, let's say this week, so we can get lots of comments. All right, here we go. People who are no longer bound by NDAs, what are some surprising secrets that you can expose? All right, let's see if there are enough comments here. All right, let's load maybe one more page worth of comments. All right, that seems like a lot of comments. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Claude and I'm gonna say this. Here is a copy paste of comments in a Reddit thread based on an original article. Can you summarize them for me and provide insights? All right, so I'm gonna provide it with the title of the Reddit thread, which is this. And then I'm gonna say comments. And all I'm gonna do is literally come down here in my browser and copy all of these and paste it in. And Claude is gonna put it as a file down here. All right, let's run the analysis. All right, here are the key themes from the comments. Corporate malpractice, healthcare issues, animal welfare and ethics, product misrepresentation, technology insecurity, higher education issues, notable user reactions, and key insights. This is pretty on par for Reddit. This is how the Reddit hive mind tends to think. But what's interesting is we basically took, I don't even know how many comments this is, it's a lot. And AI will do the content analysis for us and provide the major themes. And obviously we can ask follow-up questions on specific parts of this and then go reference the original comments as well if we want. So I wanted to give this example because when people think of data analysis, they think of spreadsheets and numbers, but data analysis also includes content analysis. And one thing AI excels at is parsing human language and people's writing and turning that into useful information that we can then use for other purposes. So to wrap up this scenario, let's talk about some other data foo examples. So we looked at Reddit comments, we looked at customer information, so numbers out of a CRM system. What other things we can do with data foo, with AI? We can break down textbook content, we can break down messages, we can break down PDFs, we can break down real life situations if you provide enough detail about your, say, social interactions. So you can do this, for example, if you have like a long email thread going on with a client or a customer or a friend or a vendor or someone, and you're not really sure if you're making a rational decision, you can feed all that into an AI, provide it with the context about you, about the other person, and then ask for an opinion. Ask the AI to act as a business coach or a therapist and say, hey, I want to make this decision. Is this a rational decision based on the content in this email exchange? And so data foo is useful not just for numbers and content, but for almost anything that you want to analyze in your life. All right, that is it for this scenario. I will see you in the next lesson.